The Inner Clown by Andrew Goodfellow, Maxville 2447. Narrated by David Tredinnick. Once upon a time, in a quaint little town where the gossip flowed as freely as the coffee, there lived a man called Big A. At 62 years young, Big A had seen his fair share of ups and downs, but through it all, he maintained an endless sense of humour that could light up even the gloomiest of days. Big A's story began in the summer of 61, when he entered the world with a cry that could rival a war siren. His parents, bless their hearts, knew from that moment they were in for a wild roller coaster ride. As a child, Big A was known for his mischievous antics. From putting frogs in his brother's bed to painting the family cat blue, he kept his parents on their toes and the neighbours entertained. But despite his penchant for trouble, Big A had a heart of gold and a smile that could melt even the sternest of scowls. Growing up, Big A discovered his love for all things mechanical. Whether it was fixing his dad's old lawnmower or tinkering with his bicycle, he had a knack for making things work, or at least making them somewhat functional. High school was a whirlwind of awkward encounters and failed attempts at impressing the girls. Big A's attempts at wooing his high school crush, Sally, often ended up in disaster, with one particularly memorable incident involving a homemade chocolate fountain and a horde of hungry squirrels. But despite the setbacks, Big A graduated with a diploma in one hand and a newfound sense of determination in the other. He knew the world was his oyster, and he was ready to crack it open, or at least give it a good try. In his 20s, Big A embarked on a series of odd jobs, from burger flipping to dog walking, each more bizarre than the last. But no matter how many times he found himself covered in grease or chased by an angry poodle, Big A never lost his sense of humour or his optimism for the future. It wasn't until his 30s that Big A found his true calling as a professional clown. With a red nose and a penchant for pratfalls, he became the life of the party at children's birthday parties and corporate events alike. And though his career choice raised a few eyebrows among his family and friends, Big A knew that he had finally found his place in the world, even if it involved wearing oversized shoes and squirting people from a plastic flower. As the years passed, Big A embraced the wrinkles and grey hairs that came with age, seeing them not as signs of decline, but as badges of honour and reminders of a life well lived and adventures aplenty. Every morning, Big A faced a dental dilemma. Where had his dentures disappeared to? It was as if they had grown tired of chewing and decided to take an unscheduled vacation. Big A suspected foul play, perhaps orchestrated by his mischievous dog, Rocky Goodboys. But no matter how many times he searched under the couch cushions, the dentures remained elusive. As Big A navigated the labyrinth of seniorhood, he discovered a hidden talent, the senior shuffle. With moves that rivaled the song's jitterbug and the twist, Big A became the life of the local retirement home dance floor. And though his hips may have creaked and his knees may have groaned, Big A danced like no one was watching because, let's face it, most of them couldn't see past their bifocals anyway. Big A's hairline was receding faster than his neighbours' patience, with Rocky Goodboys leaving his toys over the neighbour's driveway. He often joked that his hair was on vacation, and he should have a "Gone Fishing" sign tattooed onto his cue ball scalp. But despite his follicular challenges, Big A was determined to make the most of life. From accidentally joining a senior synchronised swimming team to mistaking his grandson's skateboard for a mobility scooter, Big A's adventures were anything but ordinary. Now, at 62, Big A spends his days regaling anyone who will listen with tales of his misadventures and triumphs. Whether he's recounting the time he accidentally set fire to his kitchen trying to make pancakes, or the time he got stuck in a tree trying to rescue a cat, Big A's stories never fail to elicit laughter and smiles. And as he looks back on his life so far, Big A realises that it wasn't the grand achievements or the moments of glory that defined him, but the laughter and joy he brought to those around him. For in a world where seriousness reigns supreme, Big A knows that a little humour can go a long way, and that's what made him who he is today. With a twinkle in his eye and a chuckle in his heart, Big A continues to embrace life's absurdities, knowing that the best stories are often the ones that make you laugh until your sides ache and tears stream down your face. And so, as you close the book on Big A's story, remember this. Life is too short to take seriously, so laugh often, love fiercely, and never be afraid to embrace your inner clown, because you never know where your journey might take you. The end.